What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. A couple days for you, about an hour maybe for me. As we suspected, one just wasn't quite enough. We got a little Christmas cheer going here. I got White Christmas on the TV, and I wanted to actually crack into this bottle. This is Borough Bourbon, Republic Restoratives, District of Columbia. This is a single malt bourbon. This is not a scotch. This is a bourbon. This was my free bottle with my quarterly membership, I guess. So I signed up for a full year, but every quarter you get that sample pack, but you also get a full bottle from their catalog, basically. They didn't have a scotch that I was interested in. The scotches were all blends, and I kind of stick to single malt. So I thought we'd give this bourbon a try. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it is single malt, so it's sort of in the same vein. It's just a bourbon instead of a scotch, so it's going to be a little more grainy, I guess we'll say, in flavor, and probably more caramely than peaty. We're just going to go ahead. I'm just going to go straight to pouring myself 3 fingers right there. And what the heck, we'll just put a little bit in the shot glass here so that we can get the full experience here. We'll let that rest for a second. So again, this is Borough Bourbon from DC. It says it's a roaming spirit that respects where it's from but knows where it's going. This all-American whiskey values its independence and is daringly finished in Armagnac casks. Armagnac? At Washington, D.C.'s very own Republic Restoratives. So, yeah, I mean, some of that's marketing. I don't actually know what Armagnac is. I think that's I think it's a liqueur, I believe, or maybe a wine of some sort. Not in my vocabulary. Oh, interesting. Women-owned, crowd-funded.
Oh, so definitely our favorite.
So definitely our favorite.
I'll take my sniff.
Oh. Yeah, it's very bourbony. It's very caramely and corny.
Tastes like something I would want to cook with.
Yeah.
It smells like something I want to cook with.
It does smell like a cooking whiskey. It's very sweet. It's 44%, so it's 88 proof. The scotch we had was 92 proof, and it hit too. That was a strong 92 proof. Let me actually turn just a little bit so you guys can see me here. It smells really good. There's a fruit too. That might be the cask finish. I can't place it, but it's very sweet. It's actually really smooth. The nose, like I said, very sweet, very fruity, very caramely. A little bit of caramel on the palate. It's very bourbony. Very astringent, very, if you've had Jack Daniels or things like that, it's not as harsh as those. It is smoother than that, but it kind of has a nondescript finish. I'm getting more caramel now on the tongue, maybe hints of apple, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So this is, again, on the rocks here. It's very good. And what I mean by that is that it's very drinkable, but it's not very unique, if that makes sense. It's very kind of almost generic. This, you know what this would make a really good old-fashioned? This would make a really, really good old-fashioned. Because it's got the sweetness, it's got the caramel, it's got a little bit almost molasses, So I think a little bit of sugar and some bitters. I've got some blackstrap bitters that I think would do really, really well with this. And I think that is probably how we'll end up drinking this. Whenever I'm in the mood for an old fashioned, we'll probably turn to this. This is, it's definitely not going to be a straight up, and it's definitely not a mixed drink like a bourbon and Coke or even bourbon and water. But I think an old fashioned, maybe a Manhattan. I wouldn't make a Manhattan, but I think it might do well in that. I think it just needs a little bit of help, for lack of a better word, to really bring out the sort of enjoyment of it. It's very good. It's obviously a high quality product. There's no question about that. You can tell that in the taste. You can tell that in the proof, the nose. All those things. I mean, you can tell that it's definitely a batch made bourbon. But it's not complex enough to stand on its own, I think. So anyway, that's why we tried it, right? I'd never heard of it before. I had my choice of some bourbons. There were some gins. There was actually a couple of gins I almost got instead. And some scotches, but this sounded very interesting, and I wanted to give it a try, and I certainly don't, I'm not disappointed. I don't regret making this selection, but this would not be one that I would pick up given the option, and it's definitely one that is going to be a cocktail drinker, or actually probably one I would not hesitate to cook with if I was making, maybe a fancier dinner that called for alcohol. So whereas I might use Crown on something, if I was doing something a little bit upscale, for lack of a better word, I might turn to this. So yeah. Anyway, not bad. We'll drink it. We'll enjoy it. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Let me know if you guys have had this, actually, because I had never heard of it. It was brand new to me. Obviously, they've got some level of distribution because it got all the way across the country to me. So maybe it's actually more well-known than I knew. So let me know. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.